Anthony Tucker, offensive coordinator for Utah State University, and coach, as we're starting to get things ready for the 2021 fall campaign. Just your kind of recap of what I'll call the off season with spring and the strength and conditioning that happened over the summer. Just how do you feel about the progress of the team so far offensively?
I feel really good. A lot of positive steps I think we've taken from when we got here. I think around the country there's a lot of teams that felt like they were a little bit behind because of how 2020 went. Conference to conference, there's different rules and things like that. Some people have spring ball, a little bit of spring ball. Some people had no spring ball. Some conferences were able to get in during the summer. In this conference and at this school, there was no off-season program, there was no summer program, and then they played a very abbreviated season. So I feel like, and I think we all kind of understood that the development of a fairly young team, was a little bit behind. So with our strength staff, with Coach Jackson and the great guys he had around, I thought they did a really good job of preparing us for spring, getting through the winter session, and then getting through spring ball. A lot of the guys hadn't played a lot of ball, being young. So getting through spring ball, introducing our style of play, what we'll hang our hat on culture-wise, introducing scheme and things like that, and really kind of getting to know what we have personnel-wise, because there really wasn't a lot to go on. So we didn't really know what we had. I think we all felt pretty positively about what we had, in the cupboard, so to speak. What we needed to address needs-wise, personnel-wise, things like that. I think they've done an amazing job in the summer. See a lot of guys walking around have changed their bodies. Guys who need to gain a little bit of weight, gained weight. Guys maybe need to, lose a little bit of weight and conditioning and things like that. I don't think there's a better strength staff in the country. And so I feel really, really positive about where we are at this point.
Coming out of spring, certainly maybe I'll rephrase it this way. This is a team that had a lot of guys coming back, some super seniors, but also integrating transfers, and you've added a few more transfers. I asked this to Coach Anderson. Everything's new for you guys, for these players, whether they're transfers integrating or not. So how do you see that kind of meshing together with the transfers, with the guys that are already here, but especially with the guys who are here trying to understand these new concepts, these new systems, and what's being asked of them?
Well, just speaking for the offensive side of the ball, a lot of the guys we brought in were able to go through spring with us, and or the entire summer program. Now they had their own player run practices and things like that, and they did a great job of meeting and really kind of investing in the summer and the time that they had. I don't feel like we're in a position where we have a bunch of guys that are behind because they're new. It's pretty much new for everyone, and a lot of those guys were here with us during the spring and for the entire bulk of the summer, for the most part.
There's a couple different position groups I just wanted to go through with. Peasley was pretty much the starter at the end of last year and took a lot of the reps in spring. Cooper Lega was there doing a lot of reps as well. Logan Bonner was hurt, wasn't able to do much in the spring. But now as we're coming into the fall, he kind of introduces a new level of competition. So in that quarterback room, how is that shaping up, and what are you seeing out of the quarterbacks that are there, and any thoughts about who may be emerging or what you want to see out of these guys to be that guy who does emerge as the number one?
I've been really impressed with that room and with the guys in that room from day one through spring, through the summer, with the investment part of it. And they carried that out through the summer. Obviously, there's limitations on how much time we can spend with those guys. Logan, all those guys will be in camp. Obviously, adding another talented player to the mix will, hopefully raise the level of that room. I felt like there was some really big steps that those guys took that went through spring ball. I've been able to see, see them in the building and things throughout the summer. So I know that they're working. All the feedback we're getting from our strength staff. I think competition in every room only makes the team better. And so I feel really, really good about where we are in that room and with the ability to win games with those guys.
Coach was also really high on the wide receiver core. You got some burners, you got some real talented guys, you got some new additions as well. And he also kind of alluded to this may be kind of a wide receiver by committee just because there's so many great talented players there. How do you kind of manage that, and what are you wanting to see out of them to help kind of move things forward?
I want them to continue doing what they're doing because their level of commitment has been amazing. And, you don't ever want to have, if you want to be balanced, you want to be able to run the ball, you want to be able to throw the football. And there may be games where we throw it more than we run and vice versa. But you got to have more than a couple guys, and I feel like we have a really good core of guys that are going to make us hard to defend, because it's not just you have one guy that a team can pay attention to and things like that. I feel like we have some really good pieces, and we have some young pieces and guys that we've been able to add, guys that have been here who have really, really taken steps. I was really impressed with them in the spring, and I've been impressed to what they've been able to do this summer. But you got to have more than one guy. We want to snap. We're not going to snap the ball 40 times a game. We're trying to snap the ball a lot. So you need legs, you need guys to run, but you don't want any drop off from maybe the guys that run out there first. For the first play of the game, the guy behind him's got to be just as good, or the guy that goes out second. There can't be any drop off from that first to second, and eventually you want to build depth where you feel really good about being able to roll a bunch of different guys out there, and like that. All the kids, they say they want to eat, so we want to help them.
You want to feed them.
You want to feed them.
Speaking generally about an offense and I guess system versus personnel, do you try to develop players to fit the system that you have in mind, or do you adapt the system to fit the players that you have? Or is it a little bit of both?
I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, if you don't have the personnel to do something, well, then you don't do it. If you feel like you have an undeveloped personnel that has the capability of doing what you want to do, well, then you help them develop to be able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. At the end of the day, you want to and then in recruiting, you want to recruit to your system. I feel the way that this program was built with what they've done offensively, within the last 3-4 years, I don't feel like we're too far off personnel-wise. I think there's some pieces in the skill position and even in the O-line that fit what we're doing. So you just want to continue to add to that.
With running backs, Coach Anderson felt like it's maybe a little bit of a running back by committee right now, still trying to see who emerges from a talented group of running backs. What's your, I guess, review of the running backs so far, and do you want to have one guy kind of emerge and to be the featured back, or with what's here, it's maybe better to kind of mix it up? I
think naturally in any of those skill position rooms, the running backs, they all want to be the first one to run out. You want them to compete that way, but at the end of the day, you got to have more than one guy, and you'd like to have 3 or 4 guys that can carry the load. Again, no drop off. You want to be able to keep guys fresh throughout the game. You want those guys to have explosive plays in the fourth quarter. We're not the type of offense where we're going to hand it to one guy 30, 40 times a game. You want to be able to, maybe have 30 or 40 touches or more in that room, but you want it to be divvied throughout, 2, 3, 4 capable guys so that the level of explosive plays increases. I'd rather have a guy that has, 100 carries or 110 carries throughout, for the year, but he's averaging 8 to 9 yards a carry, those types of things, rather than a guy who's carrying it 200 or 300 times a year and he's averaging 4.5 a carry. We want to create explosive plays. We want to have longevity. We don't want attrition to set in on one guy that you've hung your hat on and he's no longer the same guy he was in September in the beginning of November, those types of things. I think they begin to appreciate that because they feel better, they feel healthier, and they're more productive when you have 3 or 4 guys in that room that can touch the football. And the other thing is, and there's no drop off when that guy goes in. Another guy gets a breather, and now you're getting hit with another guy who's really fresh and explosive.
With tight ends, Carson Terrell, a lot of experience coming back. There's some other tight ends that are back that have some experience. How do you feel about the tight end, and how do you utilize a tight end in your system?
Well, I mean, we'll use a tight end. If you got tight ends, it really helps in the run game, of course. If you got a guy you can throw it to, you'd love to throw it to that guy. Obviously they're involved in protection. That's a really, really invaluable, piece to what we do offensively, because if you have a good tight end core, it allows you to do more. If you don't have tight ends, it really kind of handcuffs you on which direction you can go, and it makes it a little bit easier for the defense. So if you can be in a tight end personnel type of look and do multiple things and be a little bit more dynamic, that really, really helps what you can do offensively. Carson's done a great job, and we do have some young guys that have had, I feel really good about the steps that everyone has taken in each position group, and I feel like that's a group. We have a really good core of guys who've worked really, really hard. I think their coach DJ Tialavea does a great job with those guys, and I've seen just leaps and bounds of where they were to where they are and where I think they can be.
And last but certainly not least, the offensive line. Coach is a little bit concerned about some depth there. That was kind of an issue in the spring as well. Do you feel like that's getting addressed? And just how does that unit look like right now?
You know what? I think if you ask the majority of every offensive coordinator or head coach, they're always going to worry about their O-line and the depth. I don't think anyone around the country, for the most part, feels great about their depth up front, offensively and defensively. So, it's always a concern. You want those big guys to be healthy. That's where it starts. You want to get them to game day, and so I feel like we have addressed some of those things with the O-line as far as the depth. But I feel like we got enough guys to do what we need to do, and I feel like we have guys who are good enough to do what we need to do. So.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for the start of the season. It's coming up on us pretty fast, and practice is underway right away. So look forward to seeing what comes together, and good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, Logan Bonner, we are looking forward to seeing you on the field. How was that in spring football to just watch all the time?
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating. I mean, I got here second week, and then we were in practice, and my foot snapped, and I knew it was significant. So I got surgery, and then knew I was going to be out for spring, so it was really frustrating, but there's nothing I could have did to prevent it. So we're rocking and rolling now, and released and ready to roll.
Is the system that's going to be run here the system that was run at Arkansas State?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's some different things that go into it, like freedom for the receivers a little bit more in certain situations. But for the most part, yeah, it's pretty much the same.
So you didn't have the spring. Andrew Peasley did. Mm-hmm. What would you evaluate, and how would you evaluate Andrew and what he did? And I'm sure in the quarterback room you tried to help him. He's probably trying to help you, whatever.
Yeah, I thought he had a really good spring. I mean, I thought the guys all improved a lot, and I think that he was really getting at the end of the spring, and I thought he had a really good spring.
Mm-hmm. What kind of quarterback are you, or do you have certain traits, or how would you describe yourself?
Yeah, I'm more of a pocket passer. I mean, I can make any throw on the field. There's not one I think I can't not make. But I'm really an anticipation guy. Balls coming out a lot before the receivers and stuff like that. And I'm also a guy that can make plays with my feet if I need to. I'm not looking for that, but if I have to do it, I can do it whenever I need to and help the team win.
What do you think of the receiving group at Utah State, Logan?
I think I'm really pleased with the group. I mean, I think the guys are really mature and bought in, and they'll work really hard, and I'm really excited to get on the field with them. And I think that we have a really good shot to be really good this year.
Now, in particular, though, you know Brandon Bowling pretty well, and I thought he stood out in the spring game of being the receiver, the guy who catches all the tough ones, the guy who makes the plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been roommates for 4 years before this, and so we have a really good connection. He's a stud. He catches everything and runs really good routes and stuff like that. So I think that he is a big addition to the room, brings a lot of in-game experience and stuff like that, and a lot of starts. So I think that he helps the room tremendously, and I think the guys have really bought into him, and he's bought into everybody else. So I think it's added to the room and made it a really quality room.
were you and he going to transfer together, or was that ever something that happened, or is this just because Arkansas State guys came here that you both came here?
I was leaving. I was the only one leaving, and it just so happened to be he had an opportunity and to leave at some point. But I was leaving. I knew I was leaving. I didn't tell anybody. I just finished the season with my guys that I love over there, and then I had an opportunity to come here, and then I committed, and then he thought about leaving, and it ended up working out. So we didn't plan that. He was going to stay his senior year there, or his COVID year there, and I was going to leave. It was the best opportunity for me and stuff like that, but it ended up working out.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, you can probably tell us about Coach Anderson, about some of these other coaches a little bit more than maybe some of us know. What do you have to say about them?
I mean, they're great guys. I moved across country, 26 hours to come over here and in this beautiful state and this beautiful city. But I think that what you're going to get is a lot of energy, and a lot of faith, and a lot of family involved. And a lot of coaches say that, but he actually lived it. I mean, there was not one aspect of my 5-year career at Arkansas State there was never family involved. And whatever he says, he's always been true to his word and stuff like that. So I think you're going to get whatever he says, he's going to do, and he's going to bring a lot of energy to the program, and I'm really excited about this year.
I think that's neat. I noticed Rowlett, Texas, Kent Myers,
Absolutely.
Aggie quarterback from Rowlett, Texas. How well do you know him, or do you know anything of Kent?
Yeah, we grew up together. He was a couple years older than me. He went to my rival high school, Saxe, and I was a sophomore starting, and he was a senior. And he was committed here, and we played against each other. He got the better of me that day, but once he left, we didn't lose to them ever again. But no, he's a good dude. I talked to him a lot about coming here, and he said it was a great place, and he was really excited for me. I just talked to him today, actually, and he wished me luck, and he said he can't wait to be back. I know he's going to come to one of the games this year. So, but we grew up together. We've known each other since we were 7, 8 years old. Played in the same little Pee Wee league and stuff like that. So I've known his parents. I've known him forever. So he was a big influence coming here. I knew he played here. We played my freshman year here, Arkansas State. So that was big. I knew about the town and stuff like that. So he was a big influence on that. And I called him. And I was, hey, I'm thinking about coming. He was super excited. He was super excited for me and my family, and he was super excited for being an alumni.
You guys at Arkansas State in the Sun Belt, you've got a lot more games than Utah State did last year. Big benefit, you think, to you have had that year to come back to now play one more?
Yeah, I actually have 2 more years to play.
Okay, still 2.
So, but yeah, it was a little different. Being out here, you notice real fast that the different states have different rules, and different conferences has different rules. So like we really didn't change much. We had a whole summer off season. I mean, we finished our spring ball. We had a whole summer off season. We had a whole fall camp, and we had 11 game schedule. We were, I think, the one of like 4 teams in the country that played the whole schedule. We had 1 cancellation. So that was a big benefit. I mean, our season really never changed. We still had fans in the stands. It was a little bit less, but it was a little different in some aspects, but I think it was good for me to play the whole season, and you really can tell that like they were behind because we were game 4 or 5 when Utah State started playing, or even fall camp. So it was a little different, but I thought it was really good for me and Brandon to play the whole season and stuff like that, and we got a lot of experience, and then got it really just a free year out of it. So I'm not complaining at all.
Because you were coming back from a year where you've been the starter and got hurt, right, the year before. So you probably needed that or really wanted that.
Absolutely. I mean, I played the first 4 games, and then I tore a ligament in my thumb, had surgery, and then so I got a medical from that, and then I set out 2019, which I was really bummed about. I waited my turn behind a 2-time offensive player of the year, and I was ready, and we were playing really well, and it just happened to get hurt, and things didn't go my way. But I was really excited about the 2020 year. I was really hoping we were going to play. There was a couple times in fall camp they were like, hey, we're almost not going to play, and I was really bummed out about it. But it ended up working out. I played the whole year, and then when I knew I was leaving, I was really excited about a new opportunity wherever I was going to land.
Isn't it a small world, though? You end up in Logan, Utah, where Kent Myers was, Rowlett, Texas, and now you're here to finish off your college career.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew about the place out of high school when Josh Heupel was here. He came down, and he recruited me a little bit. But in that class, I ended up taking Jordan, and obviously that worked out for Jordan really well. He's doing great, and it worked out for everybody. I was just going to stay closer to home out of all the offers I had. But I knew about Kent coming here. I watched him the whole time. stuff like that. And I knew about the town. I'd never been here, so the day I moved in was the first time I moved here and seen it. But no, I've always known about it. I've always known it was in Logan. But it's just kind of ironic that it ended up being the place I landed for to finish out my career.
Well, I know if Coach Anderson's going to take a new job and he's going to bring you in, he has a lot of faith in you. We have seen Andrew Peasley. We know he can play. I think we're feeling pretty good about quarterback this year at Utah State. Logan, good luck to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Andrew Peasley, going into this year, does all of last year get wiped out? Or I would imagine you learned some things that could really, really help you towards this year last year, despite the year that it kind of was.
I think it's good to leave some things behind, but obviously a lot of guys who were here last year, we all learned something from, mistakes, and there's good things too. There's always good things with negative things, in my opinion. So I think we bring some of it over to help us motivate others to be better. So,
Well, you are the starting quarterback. You finished the year as a starter.
Yes, sir.
In spring, you were the starting quarterback and got a chance in this new offensive system that Logan Bonner obviously knows a little bit about, I would imagine, when it comes on. But what do you feel about what you see offensively?
I think it's perfect fit for me. I can use my legs. It opens up the field a lot more. Fast-paced offense gets a lot of people, surprised, and they have to change things, and we just keep things basic for ourselves, and I think it'll be very deadly this year, so it's good.
Using your legs. Really, you got to be one of the fastest guys on the team, I'd have to think, if they had a race. Is it pretty close?
Yeah, it's probably pretty close. There's DBs and receivers that are faster than me, but I'm up there with them. So
anytime you've turned the corner as a runner, I haven't seen anybody be able to hang with you. That's been what's amazing. And then I think obviously you are looking forward to the kind of program and offense that Coach Anderson and the staff have had, where they spread the field a little bit. They got 3 or 4 receivers out at different times. That's got to be kind of a fun deal too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always good when we have good receivers and spread it out and throw the ball, but another thing is I think we'll be able to run the ball pretty well this year too. If you can run the ball consistently and good, then it opens up everything else. Everything will just click. So I'm looking forward to it.
You connected quite a bit in that spring game with Brandon Bowling, who's moved in here. It looks like he's the kind of guy that a quarterback likes to have, because it looks like he catches the ball. He's a possession kind of guy who will always be there and make a play for you.
Yeah, Brandon is really good. He's consistent. He knows his job and what his role is, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for DT, McGriff, Derek Wright, Savon, all the guys. I think we all improved a lot over the summer, and I'm excited to get this going. So
yeah, it wasn't probably a pretty good announcement when Devin Tompkins decided to come back after what we saw he could do at times too.
Of course, yeah, real speed, good guy. I think he's going to do really well this season. So,
what would you say is everybody's attitude? It's all new, really, for everybody. You got a lot of transfers and new guys who've come in who are expected to play right off the bat. But it is really kind of for a new coaching staff, a new way of doing things. What's your reaction to all that?
I think everyone's buying in, and we're all working hard. We all bought in with Coach Jack over the summer, just kind of getting our strength and conditioning down. I just feel excited. I feel like everyone else is really excited too, which is kind of different from last year. Things were downhill slope last year, but I see it looking up. So
I think I read somewhere Logan Bonner said something really nice about you, working with you. You guys have already had meetings together. Obviously, you haven't been on the field as much together and stuff. But what can you talk about as far as a battle for quarterback, but also working together with another guy like that?
Yeah, and quarterback's a kind of unique position because there's only one guy on the field, right? So I think you have to take into account that we're all trying to win that spot, but at the same time, we're all trying to help each other. It's a weird relationship that quarterbacks have. We all get along. I've never not got along with a quarterback, because I think we're all have the same goals of helping others, helping the team out. So I think that, competition's a good thing. We're only going to make each other better and make everyone else better. So
I was just thinking, have you even talked to Jordan Love since he went back to Green
Bay?
He was in limbo a little bit this summer, and now it looks like he's going to be back up again. But what's he saying?
He's enjoying it. We FaceTime every now and then. Also talk to Henry Colombi too. We all still get along and talk. So Yeah.
Is Henry back in the mix? What did he end up doing?
He's at Texas Tech.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And is he back in the mix to play? Because
Yeah.
I know he's playing there for a while, and then I don't know if he got hurt or what ended up happening last year.
Yeah, he's running with the ones. They got a transfer kid too, so he's got competition. So back at it. We're all competing.
The transfer portal and all that. And I mean, I'm sure after a season of one win, maybe you even looked at that. I mean, a lot of players probably did. What's your thoughts about that in college football and what it's going to do to football teams? And this year's team, it could be a real impact to this Aggie team if those guys come in who can make a difference.
Yeah, I think it's good and bad. I think you need to have a solid reason to leave, not just I'm not playing or whatever, But it also can help teams bringing in guys, Justin Rice, all the guys we brought in this semester. So, yeah, I don't know. Transfer portal's weird, but I think if you make the right decision, then it can all work out for you. So,
well, we would hope that, again, the upheaval of last year, and you can get into the season, have it work out, play games, practice, and know you're going to play like normal. That'll make a whole lot of difference because I think last year, every game, you kind of went in not knowing who was going to be there, who are you going to go against, if we're going to play or not. That had to make last year so hard to prepare and get ready for a game, even mentally and physically.
I think, the main thing was mentally, like, going into a game, especially for coaches, like, game planning, like, here's what we can do, here's what we can't do. And then the day before, you got 5 guys that have to leave. And so it was tough, but, like I said, I think there's always positives coming into this next season to look back and learn from it. So
this was a real fast offense when Coach Yost was here and those guys. Is it as fast as this offense?
It's as fast or maybe faster. I don't know. We'll see. That depends on the players and, Coach Tucker calling it. So we'll see. I think it can be fast or faster. So.
And do you like that as a quarterback? I mean, obviously it puts defense on the heels, you would think, more than it does the offense. I would have to think that's the reason why you do it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's an advantage. I think that Coach Tucker's good at calling it, too. It can be at a disadvantage if nothing's working, like if you're just going 3 and out, but I think we have the guys to score. So, and if you're scoring, then it's a good thing. So
is everything good? Players good, off season and all of that? You feeling like, hey, we can't wait for Washington State?
Yeah, we're excited. I saw this summer has been a grind, but everyone has bought into it so good. I don't hear guys complaining. It's like, oh, we got this Friday run, let's get it, and we're all pumped in the locker room, and it's just a good vibes around the locker room, and I love it, so I'm excited.
Still a young guy as far as what your year and your experience says, but still I think you're a big part of this football team no matter what. Andrew, thanks a lot for joining with us. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Brandon Bowling, one thing's for sure in the spring football game, a guy who really stood out was you. You made lots of catches, lots of plays. But Coach Anderson says that's the way you play. Give us an idea of what you're trying to do as a receiver out there all the time, Brandon.
Well, I mean, to make the big play, that's certainly the goal as a receiver. We're game changers. That's what we do. That's our job is to change the game and make those plays. So whenever the ball gets thrown to me, I just try to make the most of the opportunity. Whether I'm blocking for my teammates or making the play, either way, I'm doing whatever I can to help the team.
But I like. You look like the kind of guy who'll catch the ball in traffic. Go for, be kind of a tougher receiver.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to come across the middle and make that tough catch and take the hit. That's something I'm not afraid to do, and that's sort of part of my game as well.
Well, Brandon, I just talked to Logan a few minutes ago, Logan Bonner. He said you guys were teammates and roommates, but he said I was going to transfer, but I didn't really tell anybody because I thought maybe you and he were a package deal to come here to Utah State, and it doesn't sound like really that was kind of the way it worked out, or at least originally.
At first, no. I knew he was leaving, but my plans originally weren't to leave. I was going to plan on staying for my last year at Arkansas State, and then kind of tides changed a little bit, and I decided to transfer. And the first ones to reach out were Coach Anderson and Coach Cefalos. So they reached out, and obviously I reached out to Logan because, I mean, we've known each other for almost 7 years now, roommates, all that stuff. So, coming here was a great opportunity for me to experience something new, and to spend my last season with Coach Anderson and Coach Cefalos was really important to me.
So really you were not going to transfer, but then when it came up or whatever and the opportunity was there and you get this extra year and all this other kind of stuff, Any regrets on that, or do you leave behind anything there, or do you just feel like, hey, I've done enough, and now let's go do something else?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, experiencing something new. I've never been to this side of the country. To be able to live here for a year would have been something that I wanted to look forward to do. I don't have any regrets. I certainly miss some of my friends in Arkansas, but I've made a ton of new friends here and a ton of great teammates. So certainly no regrets at all.
All this time you've been in college, what have you finished degrees? Are you working on seconds or thirds? Or
Yeah,
how does that work?
I graduated last summer, so I am a graduate student here working on my what's the word I'm thinking of? Masters. Yeah,
Okay.
there you go, in sports management. So
Okay. I get the feeling if you're the kind of receiver you are, you're probably okay with school. School's never been a deal. But what has been the college experience for you like? And now put it into words of what this has been like to come in with kind of a new group for you to experience the offseason, get ready for a season where, I mean, none of us really know what to expect. This team won one football game last year. We got a new coach. A lot of the same players are here. All that kind of stuff. What's going on?
Well, I think you kind of said it. Nobody really knows what to expect. I mean, even some of us players don't really know what to expect. Expectations are very high for us. Everybody in that locker room knows how good we can be, and the coaches know how good we can be too. We just got to go out there and execute. Like I said, we're very, very confident in the locker room. Expectations are high. So
You like the receiving group, which even got added to even after spring football.
Yeah, I love the receiver group. Every single guy in there welcomed me with open arms, helped me in any way that they could. Any kind of questions or concerns, I would always ask them. They've been great.
Is Coach Keaton coaching receivers? Is that what he's doing?
No, Coach Keaton's the running
back coach. Okay,
Coach Cephalo's the receivers
Coach Cephalo,
Yep.
who of course has been in this area a little bit more. I think he was a Boise, Colorado guy.
Yeah,
he played
he played at Colorado. I think he's from Boise, Idaho. I think. So yeah, he's been around this area a little bit.
Okay. So, what can you tell us about the offense? I mean, you probably have kind of run this offense a little bit the last couple of years. I can't imagine it's a whole lot different than Arkansas State's.
It's a little bit different. The main thing is going to be keeping up the tempo and going fast and getting the signal fast and getting ready fast. That's going to be the number one thing. If we can do that, then we're going to be a really, really good offense. If we can't, then that's going to be a problem because that's how this offense operates: is fast and getting ready and getting going. So.
Brandon, were you a part of the Arkansas State team that ever played here? That one team that came here a couple years ago?
I think that was in 2016. I redshirted that year, but I didn't come here.
Okay, you didn't come.
But I think Utah State won that game, didn't they?
Yeah, they won here, and we lost down there when we'd been down there. I remember it and stuff. Yeah, but the old stadium down there, I read the stadium down there. They just renovated it when we came down.
It's a very nice stadium down there. I'm impressed.
What do you think about this?
This one's a lot nicer than the one in Jonesboro. I'll say that. I like this one a lot.
This is a little different stadium than the one Arkansas State played in before.
You have a nice view of the mountains in the back. Yeah, it looks really, really good here.
Okay. What are your interests and what are the things you like in your life?
I love to golf. If I have any free time, that's what I do is I golf. I know there's actually quite a few guys on the team that love golfing too. So anytime we get free time, we'll find a course and play golf.
Do you get much of that though when you're trying to get ready for a football season?
No, especially not during the season.
Now, once the season starts,
during the summer, yes, we have plenty of time to go out there and golf in off season, but during the season, no, not much time.
Have you already made quite a few new friends, new guys that maybe you never expected you'd ever meet in your life?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been great. I'm extremely thankful that they welcome me with open arms, and it's been great so far.
Well, I look forward to just your playmaking and just making the tough catches and some of those kind of things. We need a possession guy who will get first downs and make catches there, and those are tough plays. And you did that in the spring game. Let's hope that will continue because, again, this could be a fun year. Yep. I think we look forward to it. Brandon, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you, guys.
Devontae Henry Cole, who, again, transferred to come into Utah State to, I think, probably thought he was going to play 1 year. Was it hard to make a decision to come back and play another year?
No, it wasn't. I think it was best for me to come back, get more film. Last year was kind of a struggle for the whole team. But this year, we're looking good, and we're excited to play this year.
Are you surprised that as many guys came back as they did?
Yeah, I am, honestly. We got a new staff. We love this staff, and it feels like we're playing like D1 football again, like last year with the COVID and just everything going on, like losing everything. It's just we weren't happy about that, but now we're excited. We're ready to execute the season.
And there are a number of new guys coming into the program like you did last year, but it's a new coaching staff. It's a whole new system. It's probably like everybody's starting all over no matter what. It's not like anybody's brand new or anything.
Exactly. So for us to be as a team, we just have to just stay humble, and we have a new staff, so we got to just be patient and then just go on in the season and have a great season.
So what did you really feel about last year? Did you take anything out of there that you learned a heck of a lot about? Did you play enough? Did you get enough chances? What do you feel about that?
All I need to say is just that last year was last year, and I just have to do better than last year. And then this year is my last year, and I just have to just go all out with a bang.
And it looks like there's quite a few players at running back who could play. I mean, you got a lot of playing time last year, but there's guys in there. And of course, we got the transfer from Oregon State that's coming in too.
Yeah, we like you said, there's a lot of running backs, but we're all dogs. And with this offense, it's a speed offense, so we have a rotation and everything. So different pace, different style of running backs we have. So I think it'll be good for this offense.
Mm-hmm. So, if I was going to ask you what kind of runner you are, or does everybody and the running back group, are they all about the same kind of runners, or is there somebody who's better at a certain thing or whatever among the group? What do you say?
We all have our traits. We're all different and stuff. So me, this whole time in college, I thought I was a balance back, but now I think I'm more like a aggressive, like a downhill back. Like I love running over people. I used to like shaking and stuff, but right now I put on weight and stuff. So me as a running back, I'm more like a downhill power back, and then we got Calvin Tyler. He came from Oregon State. He's a power back too, and then we have Gentry, and I think he's a balance back. He can do mix of both. He can shake, he can run down people, and then just as a team, as a running back, we just have different type of talents. And
again, for you, like you said, you changed coaching staff last year. Now you're changing this year. What's the offense like? Do you feel like it's a similar type offense? Is it something like you've run before, or is this something brand new for you?
I've been through a lot of OC, so I'm used to this offense. I believe I went through like 5 different offensive coordinators. So I was at Utah, and I went through a lot of people, coaches there. So with this offense, I love it. I'm used to it, so nothing's different for me.
Mm-hmm. And overall, this offense, I know for sure you guys want to do so much better production-wise than what you did last year, and stay on the field and be able to run the ball, and also with the receivers throw the ball with this kind of system.
Well, me personally, we have, like you said, we have our wideouts that's talented. We got new receivers, we have all that stuff. But me personally, I think the core of this offense is going to be through the running backs. Me personally, that's my opinion. So, but it's good that we have our receivers to open up the run plays for us, So I think this is going to be an exciting year.
Mm-hmm. Devontae, has it been to spend the whole year with these guys and to go through all the off-season stuff and that? Has that been fun? What can you tell us about the feeling of this group of football players?
It is fun, like coming from Utah. It reminds me of Utah. When I was at Utah, like the boys out here. I made a lot of friends. Off season, I had a hiccup, but it motivated me to be what I am right now. So I feel I became stronger, faster, and all that stuff. So off season with the boys, we did a lot of training and a lot of footwork and all that stuff. So yeah.
Good to get into it.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Can't wait. Washington State off the bat. How about that?
Washington, that's going to be a great team. Washington State is a good team. I already played against them when I was at Utah, but it's going to be 2 good teams going at it, so it's going to be exciting.
You and Calvin got to be really excited for that game.
Oh, yeah, Calvin played them too, yep, so we're excited. So, we just, like as an offense, and actually as a team, we just have to be accountable and just, be there for each other, and like if something's going down, we can't just give up. We just have to just keep fighting, So that's one thing that we need to be as a team, and we'll have a great season.
Okay.
Yes,
good
sir.
to talk to you.
Thank you.
Devin Tompkins, certainly you've emerged as one of the best wide receivers at Utah State in a long time, but you've got some competition in the room, which is good, which also means this offense has a lot of weapons to throw to. I want to start with in the spring. New coaches show up, you're starting some new practices, maybe some new philosophies. What was that like, kind of having another new head coach and another new offensive coordinator and trying to adapt to that?
Really, like you said, it's just about knowing how to adapt. So for me, I've really just like taken like all the stuff that I've learned from having Coach Gary Anderson and having Matt Wills as well. And you just got to learn to just trust and buy into the process and things like that. So I feel like I feel like a lot of people or everybody on our team this year really is buying into what Coach Anderson's brought, especially in the weight room with Coach Jackson and everything. It's been great for all of us.
This team has speed. I mean, your wide receiver core has speed, but you've also got some newcomers that can do some different things as well. Generally about this wide receiver group, what do you see about this group, and how does it maybe compare to others you've been a part of here at Utah State?
I think this is definitely the fastest and most versatile group of wide receivers I've had since I've been here. Like you have Justin McGriff, who's 6'6", but he can run routes like, he's my height, like 5'9". So it's like, and then you got Savon Scarborough, who can stretch the field just like me, and also is a longer body. You got Jordan Nathan, who's going to make great possession catches, and he's going to run great routes and things like that. So we just have a lot of different kind of styles of players. So it's really interesting.
This coaching staff says they want to play fast. You've been a part of an offense that plays fast. Mm-hmm. Is that refreshing to you, or how do you feel about that, and how this maybe new philosophy fits into how things maybe used to be here at Utah State?
I love the fast-paced offense because you get a chance to just keep your foot on the neck of the defense, and then it keeps them on their toes, and then not a lot of teams are able to keep up with that type of pace all game long. So you start seeing the other team, like the defense, just starting to, get tired and things like that. It kind of gives you a spark of energy. You just want to keep going, So I'm definitely happy we're in another fast offense.
You mentioned a lot of guys that have been here for a while that are still here, but then there's some new additions as well, some transfers. Specifically, when I ask you about Brandon Bowling, just what you've seen out of him. And here's another guy that's been playing college football for a while, and he gets another chance to do even more. So what have you kind of seen from him, and how does he fit in with the system?
Brandon fits in great with the system. He's just hardworking. And he's going to make his play. He's going to do his job. So I feel like just as a group, I know I can really trust him to be on the field with me. I know he's going to do his job, and he's going to, we're going to work to get each other open and get the ball.
And then what expectations do you have for yourself? Like, what do you need to do in this fall camp before game one? Like, where do you need to go personally, things you need to work on to get ready for that opener at Washington State?
Really just building chemistry with the quarterbacks, because like you got Andrew Peasley, and then you also got Logan Bonner coming in too. So it's like you got two different quarterbacks, and kind of last year we had two different quarterbacks with Peasley and Jason Shelley as well too. So it's just trying to build the chemistry with both of them, because we'll be getting reps with both of them. So just really focused on that right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Devin, and good luck for this upcoming season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, really looking forward to this one. It's the senior tight end, 6'5", 240. Comes from Lehigh in Utah County, and he comes over here to Utah State. Your journey to Utah State, did Utah State offer, or how did that journey go? How did you get here?
They were one of my offers coming out of high school.
You had a few of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a few, but Utah State just really stood out to me because of the people at the program. I took a visit and fell in love with the teammates, the coaches, and then just Logan overall. It kind of fits my personality, kind of small town, nature all around, canyon. So, fell in love with it. So
you've had a lot of experience. You played since your freshman season. You played 12 in your freshman season. You played 13 games, and then, of course, in a shortened season last year. You had a little bit, your junior season played 12, but then even in your shortened season, you start every game. Mm-hmm. What do you, as an experienced leader, what do you want to improve on going into the 2021 season?
Something with me that I've always wanted to focus on over the off season is obviously just getting bigger, stronger, just becoming a better athlete. And I think I did do that with the help of our new strength coaches. They're fantastic. Coach Jackson's a great strength coach, and I think a lot of kids on the team have become better athletes over this offseason. But for me, this spring ball was really nice because we actually got to, have a little bit of the playbook and stuff like that, which is good going into a summer because you get to see what, you need to do to be successful in that offense. So I think a big part of it for me was just becoming more agile, better footwork, better routes, and just better hands. So
your offense is going to be Mach 9, hair on fire, going at just crazy pace. I know you've done this before. This isn't your first rodeo with that kind of an offense. What is different about this offense compared to maybe the couple in the past?
Well, I would say the only similarity is the tempo. But Coach Tucker, I mean, the offense is a lot more dynamic. There's a lot more plays, a lot more things that we can do within the offense. And, I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's always fun to learn a new offense.
I know Peasley's back for another year. Cooper Legau's here, and now you have Logan Bonner. Coach said in his press conference it's a wide open QB competition. But what have you seen from the quarterbacks?
Just competition, man. You can tell all those dudes want to play, and no one's going to give up that spot. I mean, and that's what you want out of a quarterback. You want a competitor, you want a leader, and you want somebody that's going to want to be out there every Saturday and wants to win. So I think all of those guys have that in the quarterback room, which is good to see.
Do you feel like you can build chemistry with whoever the starting quarterback is? I know it's kind of a dumb question, but I mean,
yeah,
Peasley,
that's funny because my dad asked me the same question when I was home over the break, and because I was home and I was throwing with my high school quarterback, and he was like, "How was it catching balls from your old high school quarterback?" And I was like, honestly, at this point, it just all kind of feels the same. Like when I'm running a route, like I'm not worried about who's throwing me the ball. It's kind of just what I have to do. You know what I mean? Catch the ball, run the right route, get open. So I mean, I look forward to whoever's quarterback.
What have you seen in Coach Anthony Tucker as your new OC?
I really like him. He's cool, calm, and collected.
And this is your third offensive coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah,
is that right?
we've had a lot of offensive coordinators. So
how has that been?
It's been fun, honestly, because I mean, as a football player, just learning just new offenses and stuff like that, I think really develops you as a player.
Have you been able to soak all the information in? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing is like once you learn an offense, there's a lot of similarities throughout all offenses. The biggest thing is they just call things differently. So, I mean, it makes it a lot easier to pick up new offenses and stuff like that. So
no one's counting. 30 days away from Pullman, Washington to face the Cougars on a Saturday night, 8 o'clock. How excited are you to get this season going?
Oh, I cannot wait
question,
because, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, my quarterback from high school plays at Washington State. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'll have to get in Coach Anderson's ear to let me play some defense.
There you go.
So, but yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, we got a good schedule lined up. We played BYU early. We're coming right out of the gate against some good competition, good teams. We played Boise State early. We played Air Force early. I mean, those are teams we usually play mid-year or towards the end. So there's no filling out process this year. You know what I mean? We're going to get thrown into the fire, and I think me and as well as the rest of the team is really looking forward to it.
Is your friend going to be starting at Washington State, or is he in the depth chart?
Yeah, I think it's still a quarterback battle. Okay. Obviously, he's confident he's going to win it.
Sure.
So
as he should be, right?
Yeah. So I hope he does. It would be great to see him out there playing.
That would be pretty cool.
So it's always fun to play against high school teammates. Like back in my sophomore year, when we played the Cougs, my buddy Dallin Holker was there playing tight end. So, and he's back from his mission, so we get to see him again this year. And we also have Cade Moore, plays wide receiver BYU, Lincoln Bunker. So, I mean, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Get to see a lot of friends and, you know what I mean, kind of see what they can do on the field. Against
Carson, I can't wait to see you on the field, man. I'm so stoked about this. Can't wait to see you September 4th. Stay healthy. Have a great fall camp, and we'll see you in Pullman, Washington.
Yeah.